Move. 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 Hank, we're about to... You need to move. Please. All right, coffee, check. Chicks, check. Mr. Hank, check. Dogs are all good. You ready? All right, I'm about to let the chicks out, and we're live. We are live, and here comes the chicks. Come on, don't be shy now. We put Mr. Hank away.
They are being shy. They're like, no. We just wanted to look out. Oh, there we go.
We want to peep out. We don't really want to come out.
They're playing this morning. This is the biggest one. Hi, good morning.
The door's open. It's like, are we doing a skit?
Yeah.
This is like one of those little things you do a skit by with puppets.
This is the first time that we've opened the door for them.
Come on out. Come on, babies.
You can do it. Come on, sweeties. They're like, no. We live here. This is where we live. It's okay. This is my favorite one. The puffy cheeks. Come on out.
Like we saw that kitty cat. Oh, don't fight.
They're definitely having a day. Come on, babies. Oh, no.
Lord. Hank, you're not a part of the video yet. Move. Did Mr. Hank scare you all?
Mm-hmm. Come over here. I can't.
Watch your side.
Oh, what do you know about that? Aren't they getting so big already? All their feathers are coming in. They look like janky teenagers right now.
Hey, little ones.
They're like, oh, what is this? This one matches the dang countertop.
All right.
Hi, good morning. I wish you had mealworms.
Oh, gosh. Will they eat mealworms yet?
Mm-hmm.
I do got some out in the barn.
I'm not going to make you run out to the barn. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was hoping we could grab Pee-Pad in there.
I don't want to take my eyes off of those with Mr. Hank sitting right there.
Hank is fine.
Which one is Pee-Pad?
There's a small fuzzy one. Oh, that's my favorite right there. There. That's Pee-Pad. Oh, you went back in.
Hey, Pee-Pad. She almost wants to peek at us.
Yeah.
Y'all going back in?
Good morning.
They're all going to jump back in. Can you get up?
Look at them all come to the door like, what is this place? What do we have going on here?
I'm closing the door. Last chance to come out. No.
Oh, almost. They're super playful today.
All right, close your door whenever you're ready.
I will. Are you going back in, baby? Oh, we got stuff flying out everywhere.
All right, coming over to join you.
Hank, you got to move again. Sorry. Hank is being severely disrupted today. Oh, I'm ready for coffee, Lester.
I've had a couple of sips already.
I am just pleased that your voice is better than yesterday. I still don't think that you're well, but hey, y'all.
Good morning. Well, the good news is I don't feel bad. That's the
good.
important thing.
So, a lot of people had really mean things to say about your voice and said that really like it was a repercussion of something that happened. And I need to start out with saying that.
Hold on.
What?
Are you about to say what I think you're going to say?
I think so. Y'all got some mean genes in you lately. And I made a video last weekend. Technically, Lester made a video last weekend when we were at the antique store. And as we got done with it, he goes, here, you can have this video. So we made a joke and said, if you promise not to talk, because it technically was Lester recording it. And we worked together. And oh my God, y'all got so mean, like super duper extra mean.
Let me tell the full version of the story. So we were off to the San Jacinto Monument, the battlegrounds. And it was Texas Independence Day. And I wanted to take Jamie somewhere she'd never been before. And as we were driving, we stopped at an antique store. And Jamie had no desire to pull her phone out. It was on the charger. Get down, sweetie, get down. So I'm like, I'll just make a video then. And so I made a video. And then towards the end of the day, Jamie realized that she had not recorded any video the entire day. And I'm like, well, I got some pretty good stuff from the monument. You can just have my video from the antique store. And she says, no, that's your video. I'm like, I have an idea. So I used my creativity, and I says, while we're driving, why don't we act like and pretend like, and we put a beginning to it. And so it was a joke. It was funny. The part of the humor that 1,000 peepats did not understand is that in reality, it was a video that I recorded, and it was for every intention to go onto my page.
Yeah.
But since Jamie didn't have a video, I gave it to her.
It was very sweet.
And all she had to do was say, here, you record, but I forgot how you said it.
I said, but just promise not to talk. You're like, I promise.
Yes.
Absolutely not a word.
The humor in that was Jamie's like,
some people got it.
You record, but don't talk. And I'm like, I promise I can be really quiet. Remember, we control the narrative. So the entire video had already been recorded from my perspective. It was my video, but I gave it to Jamie.
To be nice, because I didn't record one. And that's part of our work throughout the day is being able to do it. But we can't both record the same things. So I couldn't record it. It's not that I couldn't record at the monument. I didn't want to record at the monument. Sometimes I just want to take it all in. Anyway, it was not meant to be as controversial as it was, but holy moly.
Yeah, well, so what Jamie did was when she went to edit it, she took the snippet that we recorded last where she's saying whatever, and she put it at the very beginning, and then she put all of my footage in where it was like, I broke the deal. I talked the whole way through. I didn't stay quiet. And there were 1,000 people who just were hating me, just hate. And it wasn't a big deal on Jamie's video, but the problem is that I lost my voice. And yesterday was the mean day where that was God's way of punishing me for stealing Jamie's content. That was God's way, of putting me in my place. That was God's way of letting me know that I should have asked and followed Jamie's polite request not to talk. Just remember, friends, Someone said over here, the power of a good editor is amazing. I would advise you not to believe a darn thing that you see on mainstream media or on social media, because a good editor can play with all kinds of stuff. A good editor can make you believe almost anything. So stop, just enjoy the content for what it's worth and don't think too far into it like that. But I promise you, this is not God's way of getting to me, because I didn't do anything wrong. I did a nice thing.
I think it's your snuggle time with Jeff that caught you a little something last week, because all of them are sick too now.
Maybe so. I don't know.
I feel so bad though, because his voice, like his voice is so deep and has this like undertone in it that it actually sounds mean whenever he's talking, because he's whenever he's trying to get the words to come out, sometimes it'll also skip it. So I think that he's paused if we're in the separate room, and I'm like, oh my God, he's so mad at me. Like it sounds like he's so sad and just down in the dumps. And like, because number one, he's talking less to try to preserve it. But number two, the way that it comes out, and I'm like, are you okay? Can I do anything? And he's like, I'm fine. And not like in a normal like sickness, I'm fine. And it's not a man flu, but I'll tell you that, like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad.
You don't have to, though.
It sounds better today than it did yesterday.
And like I said, even though it does sound bad, I don't feel bad. I don't. So I'm so blessed for that. I'm not coughing, sneezing, feverish. I mean, I guess you could say stuffy head, but it's really just my throat. But I'm not like coughing up phlegm. I'm not doing anything. Jamie's had me gargle with some salt water. Mm-hmm. And I sometimes have to clear my throat a little bit, but it hadn't slowed me down. I still made all my videos.
I didn't think about that. What if it's an allergy?
I don't usually have allergies too much.
I know. I've never seen you have allergies, but maybe we should try an allergy pill.
There might have been something up in the hill country that got a hold of me. You think?
Actually, there's something called cedar fever.
Seriously?
Yes. Yay. That almost all people in that area get, and it's just like this.
Do we have any allergy pills? Because I do have to drive today.
Yes.
Is that a problem?
No.
They don't knock you out?
No. It's not. I'm not going to give you Benadryl. If you don't feel bad, people are right. It's probably that.
Oh. How many of y'all heard the story about poor Gene Hackman and his wife and one of their dogs? That broke my heart. You know, when I first heard the story that all three, Gene Hackman, the actor, his wife, who's a bit younger, and their dog had all passed away, I immediately began to think about foul play. I'm like, oh my God, someone done murdered those poor people and no one found them, and they laid there for so long and all the things. And then to come to find out yesterday, once they had released the autopsy, and they begin to put a timeline in order, come to find out the wife more than likely, well, obviously, had passed first, and she had passed suddenly. And I don't know, I'm not going to try to even give you the coronary reasons behind it, but the wife passed. Now, the wife was there in a very large home, and she was on one end of the home when she passed. Now, Gene Hackman, who was suffering with severe autism or dementia, I'm not sure which one, but at a very late stage, they said that he had a kind of a routine. He went from his bedroom to his bathroom to his TV, and that was really the only room that he ever visited. And he also had, he required a heart medication. Alzheimer's. It was Alzheimer's. Thank you. Dementia. People are, guys, it doesn't matter. Let's not argue about that. But bottom line is, after him not receiving, his wife being dead in the other room and him not knowing it, after his heart did not get the meds that he needed, then he had heart failure, and then he passed and died. And then the poor dog, who was locked away without access to food and water, also died from I guess dehydration would get it before the lack of food, I'm guessing. Bottom line is, how sad that no one checked on that family for so long. That is what saddens me the most, that no one, a man who was worth $80 million and didn't have close enough ties for people to check on him. It makes me feel very blessed to have you guys who are always here to hang out with us. Many who look forward to us coming to you in the mornings or the afternoons. And even though sometimes we can do things like our little antics at the flea market where we kind of switch roles and I pretend to be the antagonist and get you all riled up on a Jamie video, you still love and accept us. You still come back. You may come back mean, but you still come back. And we appreciate that. We do appreciate that. So thank you. And I just feel so bad for Gene Hackman. He was in so many wonderful movies, lots of great movies that I really enjoyed.
Whenever I heard this initial story, I didn't actually know who he was. When I saw him, I knew who he was. I've just never been good at names of famous people. I know them, but I've never been one to be like, that's so-and-so who played in this movie. And I don't know why. I've never. I
think differently. I think that you were so busy during your 20s and 30s that I don't think that you slowed down to watch the same shows that I watched.
Never.
So whereas I've watched almost every season of Survivor from the beginnings, I don't think there was a complete season that I ever missed. And that's been like 25 years almost.
And I never watched an episode until I met him.
And now we love them.
Oh, was it last night that we watched that?
The last night?
I couldn't remember if it was last night or the night before. It was last night. Sorry, the week got a little blurry. Last night, I could not wait. I cooked dinner and Lester was coming home from working at the jail north. And like Friday night was planned around Survivor, and because we had it recorded, and was so excited to be able to watch that. That's like become a part of our thing. And when there's no Survivor seasons on, we have to find other things to watch. And now that Yellowstone's over, I'm just not sure what we'll do. I guess we'll have to just work outside until we can't work anymore during the summer.
Yeah. If I don't mean to keep the live, a lot of people are explaining that sometimes they understand how the wife tried to protect Gene from a mean world.
Sure.
And I completely get that. In saying so, my grandmother, Peepat, she also was protecting my grandfather, who also had extreme high, I don't know the right term, sorry, but he was very far advanced in his dementia. Sorry. And she didn't let us know how bad off he was. But we also know that he didn't come out of the house a whole lot, but she would be the ones to do everything. So what a surprise for us the day that we saw old Pops walking around outside. My mom was on the porch having a cup of coffee, and her dad, who had the dementia, walked over. And she goes, "Dad, is everything okay?" He goes, "Yeah, just taking a walk." And she goes, "You want some coffee?" And he goes, "Sure." So she goes to make him a cup of coffee, and she says, "Where's Mom?" And he says, "Oh, she's been exercising, and she done wore herself out." And so my mom's thinking, Peepat's exercising? An 80-year-old woman is exercising and wore herself out? It didn't make sense. But the thing is, my mom and her dad sit there and enjoyed that cup of coffee together. And then once my dad come back from wherever he was, she had my dad watch Pops. And my mom was going to walk over and check on her mom, our Peepat. And she found that Peepat had an incident, fallen, bumped her head, and she had passed. And so Pops, in his mind, where he was at, when he woke up and saw that Peepat was not moving, in his mind, she's been exercising and couldn't get up off the floor. And she's just wore out. And he was still able to get up and move around the house, and he'd come out the door, down the steps. And so that's how we discovered that my grandmother had passed. And that's when we also discovered how severe my grandfather's dementia was.
Because she shielded it.
She shielded it. She never let us know. She would speak for him. She would take him out on days that she thought he was okay to be out. And it was just really sad. So I know a lot of you guys have probably experienced similar with moms or maybe a partner. And
my grandmother on my dad's side, the one I don't talk about as often, is going through the same thing with my grandfather. They don't go anywhere anymore. And if she goes to go run errands or do anything, she's changed where she grocery shops. She's changed everything to be able to only be gone for a few minutes and usually when he's fallen asleep. And that makes me sad for my grandmother because my grandmother's been the caretaker for everyone her whole life. All of her sisters, all of her siblings, there's one left out of about 8, and in their lives she took care of all of them. The reason that we ever even were in Illinois was because she and my grandpa came back from San Diego. Grandpa was in the Navy to take care of her dad who was dying. So I know it's like in her to always be the caretaker, but she's still very lively and active and able to do so many things. And I feel so sad that her stress is because she doesn't want to be away too long for him to have, moments of just not knowing. And it's hard. It's really hard. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are doing those very same things. And I applaud you because that's probably one of the hardest jobs ever.
There's a lot who are sharing their personal stories here in the comments, and we appreciate you guys being vulnerable enough and open enough with this social media family to share your stories.
It's a horrible disease, both Alzheimer's and dementia, horrible diseases. I know there's social media people who are showing a lot of their family members, and that's their whole social media. I've seen a couple that I dearly love because it gives you so much insight, and it's not because they're making fun of those people. It is, I think that it's showing people how hard it can be, because most of these people have their parents or partners, move in with them so that they can be their caretaker. And every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, is a brand new day. I know that I teased Brianne the other day when she was coming home from getting her wisdom teeth out, how she had 4 separate days on her way home. There are people who live that every day, all day. And the patience that come from that is like, it just shows you how much of a saint that those people truly are. And I know that, like I said, there's people in social media who share a lot of that and choose to share that. And there's people who give them a really hard time. Why would you show people this? But other than that, I think that if you don't know that, if you've never seen it, it's really intriguing to watch because it doesn't make sense how the mind can do that to you. And it's almost like they're going through anesthesia, over and over and over again. And they're waking up of like, what happened? Where am I? There's a gentleman that I follow who videos his dad, and his dad is always, always, always looking for his checkbook and his keys, like always. And he hasn't had a checkbook in 10 years.
There's also a woman that does that with her mom. But what's beautiful, the one that you watch, I'm not trying to be mean, but I feel like he does it for views, and he also does it because he catches his dad. Now, even though a lot of folks can relate because they see the exact same thing with their parent or with someone they love, I don't feel like he's as genuine. The lady who I'd watch does it with her mom, but at the end of every one of her mom's episodes, she stops, she gets her mom's in a safe place, and then she teaches. She goes, if you have a parent with dementia, or if you take care of someone with dementia, you have to do this. And so instead of just grabbing and saying, no, you're not leaving.
Well, hold on a second. They do it in their long form. In their short form, they don't do it. So you've probably only seen their shorts.
Oh, maybe I've only seen their short. Yeah. No, I feel like it's like my sister Kim with Levi, who has, what does Levi have?
Levi's autistic.
Levi's, but severe autistic,
yes,
right?
Severe.
So he can walk and he can function, but he's never going to be able to have a job and function in the world by himself. And I've told Kim a number of times that she could really, if she wanted to, ever angle off and just make her channel be about working with a child who is now a 27-year-old man.
Yeah.
But to us, he's still little Levi. He's just a little old guy, Levi, who likes to draw and color and watches cartoons and watches movies.
Apparently he likes to watch me.
And he watches Jamie. He loves to watch him from Jamie. He watches her videos over and over and over.
Sometimes I have to worry about what I say.
All I'm going to say,
is this Levi safe?
if y'all ever look at Jamie's videos and they have a lot of views, Don't
It's mostly
think
Levi.
those are legit people. That's Levi watching her over and over and over.
That's not true. I
No.
love Levi so much, and he's such a sweet soul. And Kim has done an amazing job. And there's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to handle that. But Kim is like, this is my life. This is what we do, and it's me and Levi, and here we go. And she is, you know, she has owned it is the best way I can describe it.
I agree. Hey, can we take this show outside? I want to refill my coffee. Can we go sit outside?
I don't care.
Is that okay?
Are you nervous about Hank? I'm gonna lock the chicken
I'm not
door.
nervous. Can we all just go outside? It's a beautiful day. Jamie and I have done so much around the yard. Jamie more than me. Jamie worked a lot more than me around here. I'm going to refill our coffee, or at least. So one of us do coffee, one takes computer. You doing coffee? So I'm gonna just walk you guys outside. I think we'll keep our signal, and then of course I have the laptop, so I'm not really able to spin you around and stuff. But we got a lot of stuff in the ground. I keep saying we. Jamie got a whole lot of new flowers and stuff planted. We also have her chick halfway house over there. That's where her chicks, once they come out of the brooder, will make their way right there. That is very similar to what we used to have in that thing called the omelet, right? You want to talk about the little halfway house?
Yeah, this is just the interim. This is until they get big enough to go to the coop, the yard, and we get the other part done. And this is where I can obviously keep an eye on them. It's completely enclosed. The one thing that we still have to do is to put the panel on the ground, and that's so there can be no digging around the outside edges. And
we just thought about putting a cattle panel. A lot of people have sent ideas of things you can do. Look how good Stella loves Mabel.
Oh.
Mabel would slap fire from her if she wanted to. But we talked about putting a cattle panel down. Keep walking, babe. We got a lot of stuff set up for the party tomorrow.
It's still growing right here. That's weird. Anyway.
A lot of stuff is new that Jamie just bought. She's made a couple of trips here and there to buy stuff. We got the
garden is real. I started that stuff.
The garden is all real. We got a few more things to put into the ground. Let's just sit right here if it's not wet. We got the stuff set up for the party. Now, in case you guys are wondering why we're not doing the party outdoors tomorrow, where do you want me to sit? Tomorrow we're expecting rain today, which is not good.
Hold on a second here. Sorry, y'all.
Did the condensation catch up to us?
I think it just got a little froggy. There we go.
Yeah, Stella says it's time to wake up and play, Mabel.
Yeah.
Mabel is one really unique cat in the fact that she will allow things up to a certain point, but without saying a word, Mabel can give a sign and everyone will leave her alone, and no one jacks with her whatsoever.
They do. Now
Stella wants me to love. Hey, I love you, sweetie. You're a good girl. We love our girls.
Jamie Lester, what's near the RV? That is my back. They haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
that's the.
We were going
plant wall. That's gonna have stuff. That's gonna be vining things all over it.
Well, hold on. I thought we were gonna put the hot tub back there at some point.
We are, but around the bottom and edges will be all plants and things. That's just a wall to cover up the RV, even though it's not nearly as tall as the RV.
I hear the raindrops. I think I hear the raindrops.
It's coming today.
So we're gonna have Lex and Connor are both now 13, and we're gonna have their birthday party here tomorrow. So I'm gonna plan a lot of games, really fun games.
Lester's in charge of that.
And
I'm in charge of food.
And we're going to do all of the games inside the shop. But I want to tell y'all about one of the games. I wish I had a way to show it to you because you're not going to understand it. But one of our games is going to be a slow bike race. Now, you heard me right, a slow bike race.
That will be one that Jamie Walker watches.
No, well, I mean, it's always challenged by choice. But I want you to picture two riders on a bike. There's a starting line, and then let's just say 10 yards, 20 yards, whatever space we have will be the stopping point. And so you have someone helping hold the rider up from the back. So you can hold the rider. The rider's kickstand is up. The rider has the pedals all set. And whenever you say go, the person who's helping gives you just a short little push. You don't want to push too far, because in a slow bike race, the person who crosses the finish line first is the loser. You get it? Because you want to pedal and not put your foot down. You cannot take your feet off them pedals. You want to weave and swerve and bounce and shake and move your bike as slow as you can, but be the last person to cross the line. I know it makes no sense to you all, but I did it with my students in my classes for years when we would have us a free day, and they would earn it. They would earn themselves I would go over to Walmart and buy a couple of cheaper bikes, and we would have ourselves a slow bike race. And it was sometimes some of the funnest memories that were ever created. And so we will be having us a slow bike race along with a whole lot of other games. And then when the party's over, Lex will get one of those bikes and Connor will get the other one as their gift from Uncle Lester and Jamie. But the family will be able, I can just imagine people like Rob, Tina's husband, my brother Dan, me. Now my dad won't do it.
Listen,
obviously.
I don't need anybody breaking hips here or anything. All y'all are at the age where that could be critical to your future. So let's maybe bandage up or strap up or something, because we can't have any injuries like that. The kids are one thing.
Yeah, well, there'll be some who will be very into it, like Dusty. If he comes, we'll have a lot of fun.
Brenda says the suitcase race. You don't know about the suitcase race, do you?
No.
All right. So growing up,
suitcase race.
We had the suitcase race, and that would be like at our field day. And at the end of, like, let's just say 100 yards or 40 yards, you would have a suitcase, and inside there would be clothes, and you would have to run down there, put all the clothes in there on top of your clothes, and then carry your suitcase back. Then you would have to hand it to the next person. You could do it relay style or not, but the clothes were big, janky, and it made you hard to run because you're a kid and you're putting on adult clothes at that point in time.
So we could go to Goodwill today, buy oversized clothing. I mean, big. And so would they have to put on 3 items out of there?
Let's do it for the kids only, okay? Because then we can just use our clothes.
Now, when you say kids only, you're talking about
Lex, Connor, Alora, Brinley, Caden. Who am I forgetting?
Well, there's a lot of little bitty kids.
Not those little kids. The mid kids.
Carter and Cash, are they too little?
They're too little.
See, I want to see Carter do that, though. Carter would be cute running down trying to put on something, an item of clothing, something that she could put on. Carter could do that.
Okay.
Cash probably could.
Cash can't. Cash won't understand that.
A suitcase race. But hold on. It would be cute with the kids.
It's not cute with the adults.
No, it would be hilarious with the adults. Seeing Sister Tina or Sister Kim run down or Uncle Dan trying to find something that's going to go around him.
It would be funnier if you put so when we were growing up, it was like girls versus boys, and the girls had to put on like big baggy overalls, whatever, but the boys had to put on like a giant dress, like a muumuu.
Okay.
And you had to get it all on before you get back. And oh my God.
Okay. You know what? Here's what I'm liking about that. That's something that we can do in our shop. And so even if it's rainy or cold or windy, we put the doors down and we can still have a great time. Wonderful idea. We're going to do it. So we have a slow bike race, a suitcase race.
Pick one more thing.
If we could have 3 games, we would be set.
Because we had a lot of games planned, but tomorrow is supposed to be actually a cold front coming in, and that sort of changed. Let's be out in the yard.
So I had 13 different events, but half of those had to do out here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden our weather changed, and now we're going to have cold, wet weather tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I don't want people out in the cold and wet, obviously. So that means probably no moonwalk. I can still get the moonwalk and put it right here, maybe. And in case it's not raining, the kids can at least have some fun with it. But anyway, we'll figure it out. But tomorrow is that day.
Jamie, you may need to set up a first aid station. We may need an ambulance.
It'll always be challenged by choice. We're not going to make anybody play anything. Never.
The suitcase race is really
because
fun.
even those that don't play will have a good time watching.
Yeah.
but I've never done suitcase race. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. My question is, how many items of clothing must you put on?
It's got to be equal.
So 3 at each location. So in that suitcase, we could have tons of stuff. And they only got to pick out 3 things to put on. And when they run down, they leave on their items and give to the next person.
It would be really funny. This is a little funny. If we put a pair of my leggings in the girl one and a dress, because the dress is super easy to get on.
Yeah.
But the leggings for some will not be.
Yes.
Whether it's little kid or big kid or big adult, getting those leggings on is going to be something.
Yes.
So like you have to make those challenging, you know.
We have to get a pair of my suspenders because those are not going to be easy for some people.
Yeah, your overalls.
Overalls. No, I think the suspender, the bibs.
That's what I meant, the bib overalls.
Oh yeah, not coveralls. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we only have 1 pair of coveralls, don't we?
Yeah.
No, you got a pair of coveralls, don't you?
I don't have coveralls. I only have bibs.
Only overalls. Okay. Well,
yeah, we'll figure it out, but that sounds really fun. A lot of people say to play Twister. The kids would like to play Twister. You got because you get everybody on the
Twister. Same. I think our comments are no longer moving.
Just go up and
I
come
hope
back down.
we didn't. Okay. There we go.
Pin the tail on Roman. Yeah, right. So most of the kids can't reach Roman's tail.
And that will be here at this property here. So there'll be no Roman and Rita. All of our animals will be put away.
Oh my God, Spanx. Yeah, maybe I should put Spanx in, or I'll just find a smaller pair. No, we'll go with my leggings. That's gonna be challenging enough.
Looks like I'll be heading off to Goodwill today as well as Walmart.
Maybe.
And then I see one of my games was going to be darts, but I was going to build my own dart board. And picture this: I need to buy the actual darts, but I was going to get a sheet and put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a bullseye would be 13. And the way that you beat your partner in darts is the first person who can get exactly 13 points. So that means if you go over, then that doesn't count. You got to get exactly 13. For example, if you can throw and get a bullseye, then you got 13. Your team is done, right?
I think I have a better idea.
What?
I think you should do if we're gonna do teams for the suitcase
I
race.
think the whole day will be a team. We will when we get here, we'll divide teams.
So what I think is that, you know, the one about passing the orange.
But that's pretty personal. That's kind of more of a flirty kind of a game. That's not something that you want to be doing, me and Uncle Dan.
That's what I think it'd be hilarious. The guys versus the girls passing that orange.
Oh, but you girls will do it so naturally. Your bodies move together so gracefully. Like
we're doing it. We're doing it.
Women's bodies kind of fit like puzzles together, like they're meant to be. Guys' bodies will be belly hitting belly, or all kinds of horrible things is going to come up.
That's why I think it's going to be perfect. People would love to watch that. People would rather watch that than so many things. Yes, I agree. The orange passing is a good one. There was another. I have a whole channel that I've been following. There's another one with the hula hoop that you have to stand like this and you have to make the hoop go between people, and that might be one too.
Well, what we're going to do is just make sure. Oh, no. Yes, the balloons pass between the knees. Oh, my God.
The toilet paper on the plungers. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh.
Well, we got some planning to do. We got to have some.
Like somebody just said it too. It's the second I said it.
Oh, my gosh. No, so I will have my secret surveillance cameras all set up and facing the right direction. So I'll get some great video footage from that. I'm not going to actually pull out my camera during the event because
your dad will.
Oh, my dad will plop it down and put his camera.
I got Papa's chair right there.
My dad's, get ready to get dizzy. Get ready to get dizzy. And then my dad will go home and post it the same day.
On the orange challenge, remember to leave room for Jesus. There is no room for Jesus in the orange challenge. Maybe we'll do a grapefruit to make it a little easier because the oranges are a little small.
Oh, gosh.
That's going to be fun. I like this switch now. I like the switch.
Okay. So instead of doing sporty type things, we're going to just have some fun. We'll have some fun and some laughs.
Yeah.
We're not bobbing for apples. That's for darn sure. Someone says Kay wants us to bob for apples.
There'll be no bobbing, and there'll be no games with eggs because they're too expensive.
Oh, yeah.
we can't be risking that.
No, we ain't doing that. So
that'll be fun. So I have to go pick up the groceries today. I placed my order last night. I actually chose the further away grocery store, the further away H-E-B, because they do some party trays, and I wanted to get a fruit tray that was already made
Okay.
But we're making fajitas. That's the theme a little. And then I did all out with tacos and whatnot. So we'll have ground beef, chicken, and then steak.
Y'all look where Mabel's laying. Can you spy Mabel? Anyone spy Mabel? Jamie's okay right now, but she's not gonna be okay when that starts growing stuff up there.
That one's just the water spot. That's why she likes it.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. She's not gonna like it whenever I go to water, is the problem.
Mabel's in the green stalk.
So, and then I got all the fixins, of course. I got pico de gallo, I got some guacamole, salsa, and then I also will make some Spanish rice, and I got a cake. I'm not making a cake. Lex doesn't even care for cake. I asked him, like, what kind of dessert do you want? And
he's like me. We're not into sweets.
Neither is Ellie. He goes, could I just have some sour gummy worms? Yes, you can. So the cake's for Connor, and for us to sing. But I didn't do anything fancy like that, like tacos, and fajita meat. I will grill peppers and onions and get all of that, fix and put together. But I have a triple crock pot for the meats and queso. We're making queso. So like that's a lot of food. That's plenty, and I have no idea who will actually come either. Like who's busy, who's not, who's sick, who's not, like, so who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. When we do family events, we don't ask for like an RSVP. We just make enough food that hopefully if people show up, there'll be here something to eat. And if there's not, we let people take stuff with them when they leave. Yeah. Like they can take whatever they want. We don't really eat lots of leftovers.
We'll eat it the next night.
Yeah, we'll keep them for a little bit.
Yeah, but not like we're not eating it for days and days. Like we'll eat one more meal out of it, and that's it for us.
Hey, baby, Daddy does love you so much.
Just getting so gray right here, right there.
Remember how? I mean, she still has her bad habits. She hasn't changed a whole lot, but people are starting to love her for her other qualities. Remember at first, though, whenever Maggie, her mom, was still around, everyone loved Maggie for being such a wonderful girl. And Trixie, they did not, because she was just full of bad habits.
Yeah, she still got them.
She wears her diapers. Were you surprised at how wet those diapers were when I brought them back?
Yes, I washed them.
I brought them home for Jamie to wash. And she actually leaks a lot more than what I thought she did.
No, I knew she did because I've been cleaning it up. But that was really thoughtful and they're really neat.
Yeah, she usually goes on the rugs. We have little washable rugs, where a lot of the dogs will sleep.
My rugs are well washed. They're very soft, like sheets that you've had for 50 years and washed. They're very soft at this point because we wash a lot of rugs around here between cows that were in the bathroom, between her, and then sometimes Ritzy has accidents too, like part of life.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Who's coughing?
I don't know who that is. I can't even see. It's not Stella and it's not Trixie.
Hi, baby.
She doesn't have a bladder infection. She just has a weak bladder. Probably from all of that exhaust sucking. Probably a side effect of drug usage.
And then one thing you got to remember, there'll be a lot of folks who are going to suggest a certain pill that the vet can prescribe. But listen, I don't know if you guys have never experienced a dog or a cat or any animal that will not, you cannot find a way to get things down her throat.
Nothing.
Trixie is so smart that if you can put things inside of a weenie or inside of a piece of cheese,
doesn't matter.
She's so cautious and so like, and she'll eat the cheese and spit out the peel.
And if you push it down her throat, she'll throw up on purpose.
If you push it down her throat, like you put your finger until you feel it go down, she will regurgitate it right back up. So I am so blessed that, Chuck took all of his pills so easily using the muffins, and all of our dogs,
everybody else is
and our
wonderful.
Cats are really easy to deworm and do all the things with. Trixie is impossible. So we're not going to even go there with the people who are saying my vet prescribed so-and-so. That would be great.
The only way it would work is if it was an injection every day, and then she would hide from me. So like we're at the point with diapers and somebody mentioned liners. That's the next step, is putting liners in there to be able to absorb more of the moisture. But like that's where we're at.
Yeah.
She's a senior boxer. Like boxers live to be what, 10?
Sheesh. That scares me because she's probably getting close to that age.
That's why I know she is.
You know, if you guys don't know this, there's actually a video about it, but a lady who's new to the channel, and we've been very blessed to have some new people join who don't know the whole story of all the babies, but asked about Maggie. She's heard me talk about Maggie.
Why does that say rest in peace, Hank? Hank was just here.
Oh, you don't know why. You don't know why. You have your phone on you?
No. Why?
The thumbnail on the video, the live, it shows Hank upside down and all the chicks are staring at him. And so I put our chicks killed Mr. Hank.
That is how rumors start, Lester Morrow.
Our chicks killed our Mr. Hank. And so all these little tiny chicks sitting there with their little wings up, looking out the window at Hank, who's upside down like this. And somebody actually thought that happened. That's not stirring the pot. That's me laughing at myself.
That's Lester stirring the pot.
Listen, I live all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay, let me have some fun. Okay.
Hank's good. Promise you. Hank's good.
Hey, remind me real fast, because I'm also losing my head here. I made a video recently that had a thumbnail, and I told you, Jamie, I wonder how many people are going to react immediately to my thumbnail and never watch even the first piece of the video. And sure enough, it happened. One of the first comments. No, here it was. It was called Horses for Rent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, let me just tell the story. I'm not mad, y'all. I'm full of love and laughter today, even though I am hoarse.
It's sounding better, though, because he
gargled. So even though I'm sounding a little bit weird with my voice and all, funniest story of this past week as far as people goes, I made a video with Jamie, and I asked everybody which is their favorite horse. And Jamie said, I cannot pick. I can't pick one. I'm like, no, what if you had to pick one? And she goes, I can't pick just one. I'm like, but what if you had to? And so as a joke, I says, what if you, and I asked this to Jamie and to you all in the video, I says, what if you were going to rent a horse for a day for a birthday party or for a quinceañera or for an event? If you could only rent a horse for a day, which horse would you rent for the day? And that makes it easier for people to say, okay, well, I'm not picking who I love more. I'm picking who I would rent for the day, right?
Who I would spend more time, who I would spend a day with. Yeah.
So sure enough, it was all relevant. And so on my title, I took a picture of the 3 horses and I put horses for rent. We're not renting horses, okay?
People do that. People really do that. They rent them out. They lease them out. They do all kinds of things. That is not what we're doing.
I think Steinmetz rents goats.
Yeah.
That happens, y'all. But no, we're not doing that. But sure enough, it didn't take long for a comment. I'm disgusted at the fact that you're so money hungry that now you're going to take and rent Jamie's horses. She says, you have no idea how someone could end up getting hurt by horses that you never work with anyway. And you're going to put a child on the back of a horse that's 1,000 pounds, and she just went on and on and on and on and on and on. And I was like, Jamie, look, I got one. I caught one. Anyway, sometimes you have fun with it, y'all. You have fun with thumbnails and stuff. And all she would have had to have done was watched a minute of the video before she made the comment to see that it was just Lester prompting it. But I will say this, by me prompting it differently and saying, if you had to rent a horse,
you got more people to decide.
Finally,
because there's
people were able to say, well, I would probably rent Prim because this, or I would probably rent Stormy because of this. I would rent Bucky's because of this.
I said in the video, I'm like, if Voodoo, well, maybe it was off. You deleted that part. If Voodoo was here, he would have been a top choice for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he was just amazing.
Yes, he was amazing. Brenda goes, that's just Lester being Lester. Guys, I get a lot of laughs out of it though. And also I can't laugh. I could not really find a laugh in me last night because my voice wouldn't allow it. I did something really funny though to Jeff. So Jeff and Mary had gone live and they were trying out StreamYard. Now, StreamYard, as you guys know, is the app that a lot of us creators use to tie all of our pages together. And so I was telling Jeff about how wonderful StreamYard is because you can highlight people's comments. Okay, it's really easy to highlight comments, right? And this makes it fun. What's also you can do about StreamYard is you can also include video pictures and you can insert pictures and stuff. Oh, in saying so, I'm going to take one quick pause. Naked and Afraid. A lot of people say they do not watch Survivor, but they love to watch Naked and Afraid. You and I have also watched that many seasons. But get this, this season on Naked and Afraid is a woman with no legs. I'm going to put her picture up here now. Not to worry, they have everything bleeped out. But I want to talk about this for a minute. How in the world? Uh-oh.
You can't put a picture up.
You can now. What I have to do, you can put a picture up now.
Just show it on your phone. You have your phone with you?
I will refill our coffees and bring my phone.
There's not much coffee left.
But, oh, there's not? Okay, well.
It's okay, you can refill mine. I'll drink more.
I don't have to show the picture. But the woman has no legs. Her legs are cut off right at her thighs.
Wow.
I don't know her story, but how in the world would they even have a chance to survive in nature? Because if you don't know, on the movie Naked and Afraid, and Jamie and I have not watched this season. We've not started the season yet. It just takes two people who want to try to survive. Is it 28 days?
I don't know.
I don't know how many days.
I get that mixed up with Alone.
In nature, alone, they have to outlast each other. So the last man or woman standing is the winner. Naked and Afraid, though, they drop them off with the bare minimum, literally, and they have to try to survive in the jungle or in the desert or somewhere, literally defenseless, naked, and afraid. And so I think that the appeal of the show is the fact that they're not going out there with a coat and a sweater and a hoodie and all kinds of things that could actually be tools. A lot of people use their clothing as tools. Mm-hmm. And these folks have to go out there and try to find a way to survive with nothing. And so the cameramen always bleep out anything private. You don't see anything, but it does offer a lot of challenges. We've seen people in the deserts who get sunburned almost immediately.
I would not be able to do that game. Number one, my own insecurities would get in the way. But number two, I know that I am not a survivalist in that spit. I'm not.
Even with clothes, that would be hard.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Without clothes. And well, the thing about it is, to win $1 million, what are you willing to do? You know that if they take 10 people out, 20 people out, your odds of winning $1 million are 1 out of 20. And so what a lot of people do is they will literally beef themselves up as far as overeat, because they know they're going to be out in the forest with little food and they want to have a lot of reserves. So
I have plenty of reserves. It's not that. It's just that I'm a wimp. Like bugs, and I'm not afraid of bugs, but bug bites and no pillow would be really hard for me.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit spoiled, I think.
And I would have a hard time eating certain things that other people might be able to. Like I'm kind of a.
He would have a really hard time.
Grubs and worms.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Snails and different things that people can find.
It would be a fast for me. I would need to fast. It would just be like, well, boiled water it is again. That's where I'm at. Maybe get some rose hips and have a little tea. That would be it for me. Yeah. I would definitely, it would be a great diet. Maybe we should just do that diet.
This is kind of cute. Oh, I lost it. It's not funny. I don't know, but it's living life, loving. Says my life without a washer for 2 years. I lived naked and afraid often. We've been there before.
Yep.
Jamie and I have both talked about life.
Humble beginnings.
Very, very. When in the older days, before we had the social media and stuff, before we met each other, when life was a real struggle. Of course, my story of the hardest days were the ones right after Hurricane Harvey flooding, where there was literally, I had no clothes. And a funny story that I can make it funny now looking back is that the clothes that I did have were all two-toned. You want to explain how that could happen?
A little bit of muddy river.
I'm going to try to fill our coffees.
Okay.
But you remember the story though about all my two-toned clothes?
I do.
I'll be right back. I'm going to try to fill it and get my phone.
Lester's closet flooded, and everything that was hanging where the water line went, the moisture actually absorbed higher into the clothing. So while the water might not have been all the way over some of those clothes, it would seep up higher. So it looked like it was, I don't want to say tie-dyed, but it absorbed that water. And that water was the muddiest, rustiest looking thing that just never comes out. It doesn't matter what you use on that clothing. That is just, it's never coming out. I know this because I also tried this past year to salvage some of our clothing, and it was not possible. We still had clothing in the barn dominium because I was using it, to be quite frank, as our opposite season of clothing over there. And I tried to salvage it because some of it was my business clothes. Some of it was like some of the stuff that Lester actually still had from pre-Harvey as well. It was our winter stuff that was over there. And
yeah, a little bit.
But his stuff in the beginning was absolutely like perfect to like here, and then everywhere down was like,
hey,
rusty is the best way I can describe it.
I lost my washer and my dryer, but I would take things to the laundromat to have clean, or the dry cleaners, anyone that could try to clean it and get all my shirts back, because I was teaching school.
Ombre, thank you for the words.
Huh?
Ombre is the word of what I was looking for, and the way it happened.
Okay. And I had to still wear, school attire, which was button-up shirts and ties and all the things. But all of my hang-up clothes from here up were normal, and from here down were a different color. They had a tint of river water.
That's why I said it was like, it's like a rust, and like it's really rusty. Hard to see, like to know and explain that color, but it's like a sludge, and you can't get it out. It's never coming out. You forgot to tell the rest of your Jeff story. We got sidetracked.
Oh, squirrel moment. No, but I did wear those clothes for probably about a month or so before I finally was able to get a paycheck or two and start trying to find a way to replace my clothes.
And the thing is that all the Goodwills flooded.
Oh yeah, there's
so nothing. There was and then nobody had anything to donate because everybody else was in the same circumstance in this region. So there was nothing.
No, it was tough. So sweet lady, we do understand your pain. But and then I'll say last thing before I go to Jeff, I was not making fun of the lady with no legs who's challenging for $1 million. As a matter of fact, I admire the tenacity and the fight. And if you don't know me, I root for underdogs. I root for underdog creators. I root for underdog creators even. I'll root for any underdog.
Lester is the root for underdog in the animals as well. And for the misfits, for the ones that are very challenging. And even in the kids that he taught, he would come home and tell me about stories about kids, teenagers, tweens, whatever, that would get in his face, and he would be like, and they're my favorite. They're my favorite because they need the most. And
they need.
For me, I was like, I don't know how you're in such a good mood coming home. He would come home like singing a song and taking his lunch bag and twirling it on his finger and stuff. He's like,
please.
He's like, a kid got in my face today and said, you 20 times and like nose to nose. And I'm like, and you're singing? Like, what is, like, that would, like, number one, that would eat at my soul because that kid is, going through something clearly. But number two, like, and he would be like, nope, it's okay. I just, let her calm down and said, are you done now? And that was it. And I'm like, holy God, like, I could not do it.
I've always said that Hurricane Harvey, as much as it took away from me, it made me a whole lot better person. it made me a lot better teacher as well, because you learn to realize that these kids may not have been suffered through and had to overcome a hurricane flood or things, but they have to overcome a lot more things, even more challenging sometimes than a hurricane flood, especially with all the abuse and the neglect that they take from, family members or from those that they trust. And I hated that about, that I was more cynical and more critical earlier in my career. But later, when I had to undergo something quite challenging, realizing that these kids were also struggling in a different way. So I tried to be a whole lot more supportive. And if you had a kid show up in a bad mood and needed to give someone a good cursing, I would just sit there and say, Delilah,
That was her name.
I know that you're mad. You never forget those kids. I said, I know you're mad at me right now. I said, but I want you to know that I still care about you. And whenever you get over it, if you want to talk, I'm here to talk. And I'd listen. And, and so I wouldn't just immediately say, you want to get out of my room. No, I would just say, could we do this in the hall? And if they wanted to give me a good cursing, or if they wanted to, storm off down the hall, then I would just hope that they didn't run away and get me in trouble.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're talking about Jeff and Mary. So last night they were live using StreamYard. And on StreamYard, because it has a way to pull all of these pages together, what you can also do, there's so many unique features to StreamYard. One of them is the invite link. And that's how we invite other people to join a live. If you invite one other person, it will split screen. And so it has you over on one side and your guest on the other side, right? And that's fun. And that's how we invite people to come on and, we interview and have, get to meet each other. So I challenged, or I kind of dared Jeff, their first time using StreamYard. And I says, hey, Jeff, I sent him a text. I dare you to open up the invite link and put it into your comments. Meaning all the comments that we see over here on the side is you could click that link and you could immediately go in and join Jeff and Mary on their live. Now, it only allows you 10 people at a time.
No, but people just keep clicking, trying to get in. So as soon as one drops out.
Do you remember, I think it was the show The Brady Bunch. This is the story
Hollywood Squares, or
of a man named Brady who was dun, 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 dun. Okay. And it had all those pictures of the Brady Bunch, and they all kept popping up looking at each other. And so that's what it looked like. I'm watching Jeff's live and I'm in the truck and I'm
he comes in like that, and I thought he was dying and gasping for air. He walks in the door and it's like, I did something. What is it, Jeff? And Mary, you gotta see this. It sounded way more wheezy and dying and like struggling. And I really thought that he was having a heart attack at that moment. He was just laughing his head off because Jeff and Mary had no idea what kind of Pandora's box that they opened up by putting that link in that
Here's
comment.
The thing. This is the crazy thing. I think that Jeff was in hog heaven. I think that Jeff was he was just like seeing all these 9 other people but here's the problem. They're all talking at the same time, and you heard all this distortion, all this background noise, and Jeff's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
It was like the part that I saw at the end, Jeff's like, somebody's TV's on, and like it was like going to a Morrow family Sunday dinner is what it was like.
That's exactly what it was like.
One person's over here telling their story about yesterday. You can hear Tina over everybody. There's a TV that's blared in the background. There's 16 birds chirping off. There's 47 dogs barking, and everybody's doing it all at once. And I was like, I can't. You have to turn that off. Like, I can't. That is way overstimulation for me.
It was, even I was just laughing. I even had to put my volume on mute. Even I couldn't handle that.
So on Zoom, when you do, when you have a big thing like that, the person who started the Zoom has the power to go by and mute people. That's the one thing. I don't know if StreamYard has the capability to do, but I would be totally down with having a party, especially if you had a live where you could invite certain people, or if you wanted to be able to do a virtual meet and greet or things like that, if you had the power to create a lineup or create a, like you had the power to turn off the person that can't figure out how to turn their volume down in the background, or the person who's echoing because they're also watching it on another device. Like I think that would be so fun to do a virtual meet and greet, but I don't know if StreamYard has that capability. Does it? Maybe we should practice with
we
ourselves.
have to practice with each other,
because I think that would be really fun to do that type of thing, and to just have a marathon of live, to be able to do that one night. But I don't know if it has that possibility. Are you going to try to join right now if I send you a link?
No. I was going to just show people how it looked last night with Jeff, with all the people. I did not record a video of that.
No, you didn't.
I do have a screenshot, but I know you can't really see this over here.
Turn your phone sideways and then blow it up.
You think so?
To like where it fits your screen. Yeah, it's so dark.
It's very dark, but that's kind of how it looked. You had all these people in there with Jeff and Mary at the same time. And that's only whenever he started trying to figure out how to load them in there. It was nuts.
I think it'll be really fun if we do that, but I need to understand some of the things. And then the other side I would say is I could technically do it with Zoom as well. But other people can't watch it then.
No,
that's the hard part. So
no, but I think that what I did was, when it was over, when Jeff and Mary finally got off, I says, "Hey, bud, so that's a really neat option, but next time only invite one person at a time on. Invite one person in.
Yeah.
The other 9 can be lined up at the bottom. You can still see them all lined up.
Yeah.
But only invite one in at a time and get to know them, and then just politely say, okay, everyone's allowed 1 minute." And then I have to move along, because there are some people that when they get in, they will not leave. They have the option to leave out of the box, and they will not. So you kind of have to say.
People are saying that it does. You can mute people on StreamYard, and each one. I know that individual people can mute, but I don't know if I have the power to mute them, is what I'm saying. Because even on Zoom, so I'll be really honest here, even on Zoom, when I get a bunch of doctors on there, some of them are driving, some of them are are walking around the hospital, and there's so much background noise that I have the power, even if they can't hear me or don't know how to mute, that I can mute for them.
Oh.
So, because I own the call.
Yeah.
So on StreamYard, it'd be really awesome if you did that. And one person would be better, just like you said, to go ahead and do that. I know you've done that before. Yeah.
If it's one person, you can just ask them polite, because you're only talking to them. You're like, hey, let's take Teresa, for example.
Is that rain, or what is that?
No, it is. It's kind of drizzly rain. I'm like, hey, Teresa, I hear a reverb. Can you turn your TV down, or can you turn down your phone and just listen to me, But there's certain ways to do it. It's rain, baby. Why are you so panicked? We knew it was going to rain.
Because I don't see it here. Oh, I do see it now. Okay. I'm like, I heard it over there, which made it so really weird.
We knew it was going to rain. Why are you so panicked?
Maybe there's something wrong with my left ear, but I hear it over there.
Someone says, please don't teach Pawpaw. No, my poor dad. But no.
Pawpaw doesn't need StreamYard because he only has one channel.
And then as far as, I'm going to address something real fast. A sweet lady, because I see her name all the time, Black Diamond. I don't know exactly what she meant by what she said. She said that yesterday I screamed at people for announcing Jeff was live. So let me correct that and tell you the right way. What I asked politely was, you don't go on to someone's live and announce in the comments that someone else is live. For example, if Jamie and I are having a conversation with you all right now, and Black Diamond comes on to my chat, our chat, and says, hey, Shirtless Jake is going live. My question to this person is, what is your intention? There has to be a purpose and an intent for what you typed and where and why you typed it. And so what I said was, guys, you should never come on to someone's live and attempt to pull people away to go somewhere else. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Was that polite and kind how I said it?
Yeah. It's just an etiquette thing. Like it's
etiquette.
It's kind of like you're at I don't want to say like a.
You're not screaming fire in a theater.
No, but you're at like an event where there's multiple things going on, and you walk up and stand at the top of the hill and scream, "This one's better over here," or or there's a like I remember in high school. Like we would be watching a basketball game and somebody would come and like fight in the commons and all these people would come out to go watch the fight instead of the basketball game. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. But I know for a fact I did not scream because I can't scream and I would have never screamed. But what I try to do is sometimes in my teacher voice remind folks of etiquette.
Justin told people the same thing yesterday. So.
Justin said the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching a live and you get a notification that someone else is going live, then all of a sudden it's just real simple. You have an option. You have a choice. You can continue the live that you're on.
There's like
or
something
go
like
watch
50 million creators or
There's
something like that.
There's a lot of creators, friends.
And so many people are live all at the same time. And it's unbelievable the things that you can see. People sleeping, people driving, people at RV shows. You can see anything you want to. The world is at your fingertips, literally. And you have plenty of choices. It's just one of those things where it's just an etiquette thing. That's all.
So all I'm saying is it's just etiquette. So, and like Jamie and I both have always told you, you go find your happy place. If there's a channel that you're more happy to watch, we do invite you to go live the rest of your life and find as much joy as you can. Because like we all
150 million, thank you.
150 million creators.
There's a lot of creators. There's
lots of creators. Absolutely.
We are over an hour already, and we've not gotten to the question space. I've seen a few questions pop up because people knew we were getting close to the time. So let's go ahead and take some questions because I actually do have to go pick up my grocery order. I'm also I'm going to have lunch with someone that I will introduce you all to via video. And Lester's got to go get all of his bikes for his races and things like that.
All right. So do you want to answer any of the questions that you said that you saw? This is the one that's popping up the most.
I've not made my decision yet. I'm not there yet. We're going to take the weekend to think it all over. Nothing is wrong with Hank. And the two new rescue cats, Sassy and Chester, are doing really well. Sassy has moved to be under our bed and she comes up and snuggles with us. She eats and she is enjoying her time in our bedroom. She and Hank get along from a 2 to 3 foot distance. Hank is not aggressive or anything like that. But as far as like cats that have integrated, they will both lay on the bed and they're completely content doing that. They share litter boxes, they share food, they share water, and all is well around that. Chester has chosen the high points in the shop. I bring him in and he comes in to eat, but he actually prefers to be out and about. And then as far as kitty sightings, I'm guessing they're talking about Barnadette.
Yeah, they're going by so fast, I just can't find it. Lester, do you think Barnadette is locked in the container? No, I've been in the container. I've been inside the container. Even as of yesterday, I went in to get diesel to start my fire, and she's not inside the container.
Do you want to know my theory on Barnadette?
This is scary.
Barnadette showed up to eat, right?
Yes.
Barnadette came from somewhere. I believe that Barnadette went back home to have her kittens, wherever that home is. Maybe it's somewhere up near Mr. Curtis. Maybe it's a little bit further away down the road, but Barnadette came here to eat. Barnadette, we did not acquire Barnadette. We did not bring Barnadette there. What if we were her pregnancy fuel? And she's like, well, I'll go home now and have my babies.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't catch the comment, but for the person who talked about how come we haven't had Uriel work on the stalls, guys, remember Uriel is just starting out at the craft of welding. And I did talk to Uriel about our ideas. And in all honesty, I don't know if Uriel is there yet. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
I don't know if Uriel is there yet. I know that he's really enjoying what he's doing, and he's actually got quite a bit of work in making the signs using his plasma cutter. He's doing basic welding, but I don't think that he's at a point yet where he's comfortable taking on that kind of a job. And he said himself, he doesn't have the equipment that he needs to do that kind of a job.
We're also saving up for those stalls.
Then we want to save and we want to do it right.
Yes. So it's going to be a little bit, and they're content right now. There's no, I mean, they have a barn.
Uriel's signs are amazing. And if anybody wants to reach out to Uriel, he is on Facebook.
Are the horses pure Clydesdale? So Clydesdale is a breed of a draft horse. So a draft horse is a Percheron, a Shire, a Belgian, a Clydesdale. I know there are more, but a draft is a type or a breed, I believe. And the other, they're subcategories of a draft style horse. The same thing with a quarter horse. A quarter horse could be also a paint. It could be a oh my God, help me out here with that.
Gypsy.
No, gypsies are not quarter horses. But anyway, I am not the expert on this, to be honest with you, but there are so many different types. But Val is a registered Clydesdale.
Palomino, somebody says.
Yeah, Palomino. There's a paint. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing a repeat of a lot of the same questions that we've already answered. So I do think that we've talked about everything, talked about Barnadette and not knowing where she's at. The horses, we're still,
Morgan, yes.
We're still in conversation and just with each other, talking, thinking. We just want to make sure that if we go ahead and go through with this, it's the right decision. I know that a lot of people are curious about horse number 3, and even horse number 3 is, and like I said, there's actually 4 horses. So
there's a lot more to talk about on that.
A lot more we've not talked. We have a lot more that we've not talked about with you all than what we have, but we're trying to keep you in the loop, but we don't want to get you excited about things that may not come to fruition.
Yeah.
So just allow us to work. Just know that there is some talks in the works with a very sweet lady and her wonderful husband who have reached out to us and would love for us to have some or probably all of their horses because they are unable to take care of them and they have to move.
Yeah, they have a life-changing
event. Yeah. And so, but we also want to make sure that we are in a place that we're able to welcome without having too much disruption. And like a lot of people said, and you would probably agree, no matter if you add 1 or if you add 4, if you're going to always have a shift in the dynamic.
Somebody messaged me last night and said, Jamie, I want you to remember that in the wild, horses have changing dynamics all of the time. And that is a very natural thing. So whether you do it or whether it happened, in history or it happens today in the wild, because there still are very much wild horse herds everywhere. It happens, and the dynamics change all the time based on what is going on with that herd. Somebody gets injured, somebody passes away, a new horse joins, somebody's born. Like all of those things change the dynamics constantly, and that it's never unheard of to have your herd dynamics change, and and they are naturally used to it, is what she's saying.
Yeah. So I want you to talk about this over here for a minute, but this kind of goes on the same thing. I remember that, and we're completely okay with a dynamic change, especially if it ends up being a good change, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that we were a little bit concerned with the one horse is how much change a horse can bring to your herd if it ends up disrupting not only the herd, but also the habits that we have with the herd.
Yeah.
And so Rita, and we'll answer this question first, and we'll talk more about Rita.
So it was never Rita's fault. I'll say that. So forgiving her wasn't really an option because it wasn't her fault. I love Rita and loved Rita, and it was my fault for what happened. And I loved Rita from the beginning. And there's even a video of my reuniting with Rita. I love her to this day and love every single thing about her, and have done so many things to be able to make sure that we are setting her up for success. So in a sense, I guess, yes, I forgive Rita, but it's really forgiving myself and forgiving the things that I put myself in. Yeah.
And we're just cautious around Rita. But
she's not a mean horse. She is not mean in any way. It is simply her spicy, I don't know how to say it, but it's her spiciness.
She's fun and we love her. Maxine says, what about your incubator? When are those chicks going to hatch?
Today.
There was one of those eggs rolling around yesterday.
It was like wiggling on its own.
It's funny how all you see is an egg. All of a sudden, that whole egg will move. I'm like, Jamie, this looks like magic.
As soon as I
like
see
black
any
magic.
sign of pipping, pipping means the pecking through the thing, I intend to put the camera on it and to go live so we can watch some hatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
you know what you could do? I don't know how you would do it with your phone because you need your phone. But you could literally put up maybe the laptop, leave it plugged in, and go live stream.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
But put the laptop facing the chicks, and people could come and go as they choose.
That's what I was thinking of doing this afternoon. So it should be overnight tonight. So the incubator has a day countdown, and yesterday around 10 o'clock ish it said 2. So this morning around now it should say 1. So somewhere between today and tomorrow, we should have baby chicks. If I've done it right. I don't know. You don't know, but one definitely was moving. So
Yes.
I have to run those errands, and then my plan is to come back here because it's supposed to be pretty nasty this afternoon. My plan is to come back here and hopefully be able to catch some of that. But if not, we'll coordinate setting up the computer and go live to be able to watch that.
All right. We have busy days ahead of us. We want to thank you guys for watching. We're very blessed to have you. And we're going to go ahead and end this video the same way we started it, if you're all okay with that.
Yep.
We're in the
Love
green
y'all.
room.
I
You
hope you
ready?
have a great Saturday.
Yep. Move. 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 Hank, we're about to. You need to move. Please. All right, coffee, check. Chicks, check. Mr. Hank, check. Dogs are all good. You ready? All right, I'm about to let the